I told you, I'm not Aquaman. I am the Submariner.
What's your deal?
I'm just like Aquaman, but I can't get fish to do things.
That's the big thing.
I mean, isn't that all Aquaman does?
No, he can also breathe underwater, and he's strong, like me.
Isn't everyone strong underwater?
No, not like me.
Hey, guys!
Hey, Aquaman!
Hey, make a fish do something.
Oh, shucks, guys, I don't know. I guess I could do something like this.
Wow, a real superhero.
I have little wings on my feet.
Yeah, and shh, it's over. It's over.
Well, hello, kiddies. This is your friendly neighborhood watchman, here with you again to talk about the fabulous, fantastical DCEU.
Say what?
And its latest its latest dynamic film, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. We'll be looking into an article from Bounding Into Comics, the byline, a first for me, by a JB Augustine, with the heading Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom Review, a burial at sea for the DCEU. Ooh, but that don't sound good at all. So, without further delay, let's jump into this. So this is it. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the end of the DCEU. But is it a high note for the DCEU to go out on? Does the Snyderverse's final chapter deserve a glorious funeral pyre?
And our love become a funeral pyre.
Set adrift at sea? Or is it a wreck you watch sink before unceremoniously going out for a few beers and Chinese food afterwards? Well, I can't answer that question. I don't know, because I haven't seen it yet. Maybe in a few years I'll get around to it. I'll let you know. Well, as it turns out, the answer to these questions lies somewhere in the middle. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom practically picks up where the first film left off, with Arthur, Jason Momoa, acclimating to his duties as King of Atlantis, even though it's been 4 years or so. But who's counting? That's not the only thing he's adjusting to either. Having to scrape barnacles off his ass and things like that, you know? As in the interim, Arthur has also become a father to a newborn metahuman who has inherited his papa's ability to speak to sea life and is most likely gay, or wants to become his papa's daughter.
Daddy, chill.
Stay tuned. But I digress. Of course, while his bloodline continues to thrive, so too do his enemies. Black Manta, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, say that 3 times real quick, is on an expedition of revenge when he and his crew stumble upon the titular and fabled Lost Kingdom. Its ruins teeming with monsters, trapped in a layer of thick ice. There also happens to be a green, or greenish black, but let's not be pedantic, trident lying around, ripe for the taking. However, after mending the staff and picking it up with his bare hands, Manta is exposed to a deluge of knowledge regarding the Lost Kingdom's forgotten history and technology, all of which he soon seeks to use to both get even with Arthur and bring about cataclysmic climate change. Ooh, the left will love that.
He ain't lying.
In service of freeing King Kordax, the demonic brother of Atlan, and his armies from their icy slumber. What's a reigning surfer bro to do in this situation?
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Team up with an old enemy he can't trust, despite everyone telling him that's a crazy idea, of course. In this case, it's Orm, Patrick Wilson. I do like Patrick Wilson. Remember him from Zack Snyder's The Watchmen film, which is totally excellent in my opinion.
Guarantee.
But hey, he is still family, and the fate of the world is at stake again. Yeah, Aquaman 2 definitely has Thor, the Dark World vibes, among others, and it's definitely intentional. Through the film, director James Wan's love of cinema is on full display, especially his fascination with fantasy adventures from Indiana Jones to the Lord of the Rings. Heck, John Rhys Davies, who many may know for having respectively portrayed Salah
Papers, please.
Papers. Of course. Run.
Yes.
and Gimli in the aforementioned film series, is even a part of the Lost Kingdom's cast, albeit as the voice of a talking crab.
Wrong crab. Stupid.
He knows.
And to his credit, Wan's Peter Jackson impression is executed better than most, particularly in comparison to 2023's glut of divisive, underperforming superhero sci-fi franchises. Conversely though, his George Lucas falls a little flat. I added the though, cause I improv like that, real quick.
Whatever.
Though, it's still entertaining. When Orm and Arthur team up for the buddy cop portion of the film's plot, it goes full Return of the Jedi, complete with a surrogate Jabba the Hutt known as Kingfish, as played by Martin Short. I haven't heard that name in quite a while. The Three Amigos.
The Three Amigos!
As for the interplay between the Atlantean brothers in this act, I enjoyed it far more than the last few rounds shared between Thor and Loki under Taika Waititi. Wilson plays his role as Ocean Master a bit stilted, and his presence feels shoehorned in at times, but he still manages to elicit more sympathy and provide greater entertainment value than anyone Marvel has written in recent years. Ooh, burn!
Body blow! Body blow!
Now, onto the elephant, or elephants, in the soundstage. Yes, most of what you have read in the spoilers is true. I haven't read any spoilers, what are you talking about? Voco, Willem Dafoe, dies off screen. Oh geez, thanks. Spoiler alert! His death, the result of a briefly mentioned pandemic. Oh, COVID managed to hit Atlantis too, huh? Who would have thunk it? Amber Heard is still there. Whether pared down or not, and Black Manta does attempt to sacrifice Mira and Aquaman's child, much to Johnny Depp's enjoyment. However, there is good news on that front. In the theatrical cut of the film, he doesn't get away with it. Instead, it's just another minor obstacle put in our hero's way, and the baby is rescued. Again, thanks for the spoiler. I guess it really is going to be quite a few years before I watch this, so I won't remember any of the spoilers. And finally, one more thing that turned out to be true. The film features absolutely no Michael Keaton nor Ben Affleck. In other words, there is no Batman cameo. Sorry to any of you who were jonesing for that. You ain't sorry. All in all, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is not as average as the Marvels. The Marvels suck. And certainly not as forgettable. Yeah, it was quite forgettable. I agree with you there. Wan still has an eye for imagery, and Momoa still has charisma to spare. However, Heard does have a significant presence in the film, and as such, it might be too much for a lot of viewers to forgive or sit through. Yeah, man, that's not a pro, that's a con right there. Plus, the script's admittedly a bit standard, with an overfamiliar story, and thus unlikely to change your opinion of the DCEU or the superhero genre's standing in the current year. What's going on here? Is Ocean Master filling up his brother's ass? The heck?
Daddy, chill.
Anyway, TMI.
Stay on target.
At the end of the day, I rate this installment a little higher than one would expect on my own personal enjoyment scale. Scale, fish, get it? But for regular viewers, and particularly our own readership, all I can say is that your mileage may vary. Overall score from JB Augustine is a 5. That's about average. Right down the middle. Pros, Black Manta's return, although that could be some people's con. Aquaman and Orm subplot. Visuals. Cons, No Willem Dafoe, yet still plenty of Amber Heard. Yeah, that is a con. No Batman either.
That sucks.
Climate change narrative, although it's not beating over your head. Well, something I guess. So folks, we reached the point of the video where we head on over and go over some of the comments from the readers. First up, from Charlie's mom.
Shame about Black Manta returning.
Really disliked his character. I'm not seeing Aquaman 2 because Amber Heard is a pool weaponizer, but more so because the villain is blah. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I too was not impressed by Black Manta's character in the first film.
Next from Crit Hit is, Orm looks more like Aquaman than Aquaman. Franklin Mean responds, Wilson is also the better actor. Imagine if the series had started with him as Arthur. Throwing this movie a bone, I would say Wilson and Juan are the only reasons why this might be worth watching. Perhaps later on streaming or pirating it. Ooh, you said the P word. Pat Gray C adds, thank you, I was about to say the same thing. Next, we have from a guest, so far, it's made a little over half its budget. And that through the lucrative Christmas season. Does not look good for this movie to make any money. This shouldn't have cost more than $100 million to make. If it had, it still wouldn't have earned anything yet, but would at least not have lost so much. Mike Smith replies, Wonka will make $450 plus million at the end of its run. Then it will most likely make another $250 million plus on the streaming networks. Its percentage drops are remarkably light, so the movie will show great legs long after the holiday season. It seems to always be the trend with movies that start like this. Jumanji was another movie that proved this scenario to have some merit. Well, Warner Brothers certainly hopes your comments, Mr. Smith, are right on the nose. So folks, we reached the end of another video. If you agree with the article and think the film was lackluster, or if you happen to like it, despite Amber Heard,
How dare you?
or because of Amber Heard, maybe you're a big fan of hers, comment if you wish to share your thoughts, hit that like button if you agree with the article's review and the reader's comments, and help out the channel by subscribing if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be given a heads up for whenever I'm about to drop another video. And as always, stay safe and don't go into the water.
That's right. Okay, first of all, I am not Aquaman. I am a recovering gay fish. Yes, I have met Aquaman. I have hung out with Aquaman. But the only thing I have in common with Aquaman anymore is my love for the sea. Now, there have been malicious rumors started at this elementary school, all right? Yes, Kim is heavier than most of her pictures show her to be. Yes, she gets her hair lasered off her body. Yes, she has a friend named Gandalf who happens to be gay fish, yo. Don't be sad for me, guys. I'm going home. Now I know that I'm a gay fish.